Hey y'all, it's Autumn and I'm back with another podcast, but I'm not alone today. We have a guest here, T. T.
Hey y'all.
Oh, in today's episode, Teyanna's just going to be sharing her testimony and how God saved and delivered her. But before we get into it, you just want to give a introduction, who you are, why you decided to come on a pod, stuff like that.
Well, I'm Tiana again. And I think I just wanted to share my testimony. Something that I always say is that me sharing my testimony could be the beginning of someone else's. So I just really wanted to share it, get it out there, and hopefully it opens up someone up that may be nervous to share theirs or something. So, yeah.
When you tell your testimony and like somebody's going through the same thing, I think it gives them like that freedom and it lifts like a burden off their shoulders
Yeah.
to like say what they're going through, and then they can also relate back to you and realize that they're not the only one going
Yeah.
through it. Because sometimes when you are in that stage, you literally feel like you're crazy. You feel like you're the only one. But in
Yeah.
reality, it's not like that at all. What was your life like before this change encounter season?
Oh, it was pretty it was pretty rough. I didn't have the best relationship with my mom, so it was like just like not a really good relationship with my mom, or really like mostly my whole family. It was like my brother and my sister. We all didn't have like a good connection. My brother and my sister, they were like tight. I just felt like the black sheep most of the time. And like growing up, I started to realize maybe I was the problem. I started to think I was the problem because like everyone felt the same way towards me. But yeah, I just didn't have the best relationship with my parents. School wasn't good. I did not have good grades because I didn't have a good at home life. I knew of God, but I didn't like follow him. Like my mom, she was a believer, but like at that time I didn't even know what lukewarm was, but she was lukewarm. And so it was like we went to church. It was one time we went to church, not one time, but there at one point we went every Sunday. And so we knew who Jesus was. We were like too young to even understand or anything like that. So yeah, and I feel like that is part of the reason why I do know Jesus. My mom putting that into us. But yeah, I'm sorry I lost track of the question.
No, that's good. What you said that you felt like the black sheep. What made you feel like that?
Honestly, it was the way I was treated by my brother, my sister, and my mom. I just like they were just so close, my brother and my sister. And then my mom, she always made it seem like it was a problem. Like everything I did, I just didn't do it right. Or like she would tell me what she wants me to be, or like as far as like a career or something, or like she was hard on me about my grades. And that didn't help at all. It just made me fail because like I don't even know how to explain that, but I think the more pressure it is, it's harder to like keep your grades up, and especially if it's like a bad lifestyle at home, like you're just I slept at school literally. So, but I felt like the black sheep just because I don't know. When I tried to put myself in there, I just didn't really fit. Like even though my sister and brother they would play around and say like, you know, stuff, but like I felt left out. Like I felt so left out, and I felt left out at school. So I really just felt like I couldn't fit in nowhere.
And you weren't close to your siblings at all.
Not really. I mean, I was closer to my sister than my brother, but like, I mean, we lived in the same house, but I mean, that don't really mean nothing, actually. But I mean, me and my sister weren't as close then as we are now.
Yeah, that's
So,
crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy to live with somebody and feel like y'all roommates because y'all don't even have no bond for real. So now it's just like we passing by, hey, what's up? Go to
Yeah.
bed, good night. That's it.
Yeah.
With all this going on, I know there had to be like some type of battle, some type of struggles. What were you going through internally with all of this?
Um, I was just thinking I just wasn't good enough. Like I'm just like I will never satisfy nobody at school, nobody at home. Then I just started to like get in my head like what am I even here for? Like I started to think like that. Like there's no point of being here. And some like I didn't really follow Christ, but I was just asking like why would you put me in a family where I don't even feel loved? I thought your mom was supposed to love you and you were supposed to, but like you put me, I feel like you put me somewhere I don't even belong. So like that's how I started to feel. Just like that God didn't even want me. That's how I started to feel.
If there is somebody watching this right now who's currently going through that same thing or feels like that, is there a scripture that pops up in your mind immediately for something like that?
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. That's the first thing that comes. That's something I meditate on a lot. Like, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you will feel so distant from God, so distant. But at that time, I couldn't understand that verse. I didn't even know about it. But like now, that's like, I'm older. I'm like, I wish I could tell my younger self, like, the Lord is like right next to you. Like,
Yeah.
he's right there.
So back then, you said that you kind of had a relationship with God. Where is that where you were placing your hope in, or were you more so focused on other stuff?
It was other stuff. I mean, like, I would say, I wouldn't even say it was a relationship. I went to church. I learned about Jesus through like this youth group I was a part of at the church I grew up at. I wouldn't even say it was a relationship, but like I asked a lot of questions. I was very curious, like when they would tell us stories about like Jesus walking on water or him raising Lazarus, I believe, from the
Yep.
dead, and stuff like that. Like I was just so curious, and some like part of me was like, "Wow, that's so cool," but the other part, I'm like, "Is that like actually real?" Because I was just like 13 years old, so I'm like, it was like I don't know if I believed it or not. So
So there had to be like a moment where like everything finally kicked in, where you kind of like locked in, and you was like, okay, like I'm kind of starting to get a feel of this. What was that shifting turning point for you in your relationship with God?
actually, I mean, there's kind of like two moments like that. Kind of. There was one that was like just last year, and then like 2025, and then there was one in like I believe 2023 when I was getting ready to move. Well, I wanted to move to Bloomington. This was before I lived there. And I went to church with one of my friends at the time, and it was just like it was a mega church. And I went there, and they were singing "Son of Suffering." The feeling I had, I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's real. Like I don't know, like I just had like such a like, okay, I want to follow Christ kind of moment during that time. Is that the question? Is that the question you asked me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I'm getting thrown off track. But anyways, but I mean, at that time, I'm like, okay, I think I want to follow the Lord. And then I felt like I wanted to. That's the moment I felt like I wanted to move to normal. I'm like, this is the environment I want to be in. People here are so welcoming and stuff like that. So yeah. Do I share the second time too,
Yeah, you
or
can. Or you can share that later if
yeah,
you
I could
want,
share
if
that
that
later.
kind of relates to.
Yeah.
So, was there a specific experience, prayer, or conversation, or like breaking point throughout this time?
That first time, not really. It was just that one moment that I just never forgot about. Like I just never felt nothing like that before. So I mean, but there was no conversation. I mean, I talked about it with my friend, and I was just like, I was just saying like I've never felt that before, and she was saying the same thing. She was like, no, I didn't either. It felt so cool and stuff like that. I mean, like it wasn't really like
Yeah.
a breaking point, but it was me like, okay, this I think I want to follow the Lord,
Yeah.
like for real. So.
So I think like when you're in like I guess when you're like the baby or beginning stages of like your relationship with God, you're like on fire for God and you want to
Yeah.
do everything and you want to go save like 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Because God just gives you that strength. What happened between like past T day to day's life and after the shift happened day to day life?
So like, are you saying what happened before
What
that or?
happened? I guess after you like had that encounter, did your day to day change? Did your
Oh,
attitude,
yeah.
personality, character change? Because I think sometimes we just like go based off this feeling, and
Yeah.
then once that feeling dies, then what?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, so after that, I went through this phase. It was like so on and off. Like I would read every single day, then one day I just stopped. And then I would read every single day and then I would just stop. Like it just I kept doing that for like, I want to say 3 years. And I like recently just stopped doing that because I'm like, okay, I need to lock in. But like, I just kept doing that. But every time I stopped reading, every time I would stop reading, it's because I would feel ashamed of myself because I fell into like porn and masturbation and stuff.
So
That's
that's why you stopped reading.
yeah. I would stop for a long time because I shamed myself for that.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's a hard place to be in because if you're not really like grounded in God,
yeah,
the enemy can keep you trapped there, and then you're not gonna be wanting or even feel like you're able to go back.
yeah. So yeah, it was just like on and off because I would keep going back. But like I really felt like I was so delivered from it at one point. Like I haven't done this in so long. And then like that one day out of nowhere, it just popped back up. And I'm like, why am I feeling like this? And stuff like that. And like I would even go to my friend and ask her like what did you do? How did you, I didn't even know. I was so shocked when I found out she struggled with that at one point too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so important also to share. But like,
That is something that is, oh, I swear, I used to think that I was the only girl on this entire planet who struggled with porn and masturbation. No, honey,
yes,
that's not the case.
yes.
That's
Because
not the
people like fed
case.
into my head like that's just a guy thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not supposed to do that then.
Yeah.
And I felt like I felt gross. So like when I heard her tell me that, I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. So, but like every single time it happens, I just stop reading. I don't think he wants me to read or he wants a relationship with me or anything. So I would just stop.
What was hard about like letting go of your past self and really like clinging to trust God?
Um, letting go. Well, it was mostly, I guess, like it was hard letting it go because like the things that I got that became a habit that became like what I normally do had to stop because it was unhealthy. Like the way I think, the way I talk, like, and I'm still working on that now. And like, even like having to let go of like old friends, that was the worst part. That was the worst part ever. And I'm like, for what? Like, what do you want? Like, why? I'm like, why we can't grow together? But like, it's just he just kind of just told me you're kind of like outgrowing. Like you're outgrowing, not in like a weird way, but like you're just not there no more. That's you've had your season with them, time to move. So it was kind of hard. That was like the hardest part of my past, like letting go of my past self and like the stuff that I do too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. What else did you have to let go of besides just the old friends?
Um, I would mostly say probably old, like just my old habits, like the stuff that made me me, that really wasn't
Wow,
me.
wow.
Like I just had to let.
That's no, that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
So like I don't know. I'm like I don't know. It made me, but it also made me question my identity when I had to let go of all that stuff too. Because I'm like, then what am I supposed to do? And I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm still the same girl. Just I didn't use the things that the Lord gave me the right way. So I don't know. It was kind of hard. I'm like, God, this is how I talk. Why won't they accept me?
Yeah.
So like I just like yeah, I just kind of had to slow down. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, and then also just like I'm literally learning this right now as we speak. um, Also just learning that what God gives you is not always bad. There's like a pro and a con to it, because
Yeah.
like I'm very aggressive and I'm like straight to the point, and I feel like that's the worst thing about me. But if God made me like that, then there's just a way I have to tame it. And there's certain times and places where it can come out, and there's some times where I just need to shut up and not say nothing, and
Yeah.
that's okay. And I just have to learn to be okay with how God is molding me and not try and bring the fleshly autumn out sometimes.
Yeah.
Were there moments where you wanted to like go back, where you was just like super resistant?
Oh yeah, that happens today. Like yeah, there is times I still want to go back. Like it would like a situation would happen, and I'm just like they should be lucky I'm saved. Like I be wanting to go off. Like I just be like I'm just like I'm, but then I go to like my who I am today, and I'm just like, and I just thank the Lord, like God, thank you for delivering me from being like that
Yeah.
or something, instead of just saying like, cause I already know, like I'm happy that I reached this phase, but I'm at a point where I'm like, I would sit and think like, if I react, I'm gonna feel guilty later about this, but if I don't, I'm gonna feel so happy that I didn't say anything. But I'm still thinking in my head like, if I would have said something, but I'm gonna be happy that I didn't say nothing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You said thank you God for bringing it back to my remembrance. And you said that like you were going through that like right now. I think that sometimes we forget that we have to die to our flesh daily.
Yeah.
Like that's like we literally have to pick up our cross every day. Every single morning you wake up, get in that word, honey. That word. Because if you don't, you're just going to give into your fleshly
Yeah.
desires. We just got off a 21-day fast. Right after the 21-day fast, the enemy coming after me. Can you give me a week? Like, dang, I can't get a break. And that, it just goes to show how even the littlest thing as eating food can literally taint your spirit.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that until the end of the fast. I was fasting from food, social media, stuff like that, and secular music. And that just goes to show how much that can influence your spirit and your mind.
Yes. Yes. Oh, girl, I was going to pick up kids at work and I was listening to secular music because we were off the fast. And I'm listening to it, but I was just watching a video about temptation. And the stuff that he was saying, I'm like, ooh, I didn't know. Because I listen to music just for the way it sounds. I don't be
Yeah.
listening to the words for real. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to get out of that. So I got to, and it makes me upset because I'm like, I like this song, but
Yeah.
it's so serious. It's literally so, like anything can influence you. Like I be scrolling on TikTok. Somebody say one word. I'm like, ooh. Like literally, it got that bad to a point. I'm like, okay, I can't have TikTok.
Oh, wow. You
Yeah.
deleted TikTok?
Yeah. I mean, I have it sometimes. It's mostly just scripture now and stuff on there. But like if a video do pop up, I just say not interested. Like, and then I get off TikTok and go find something else to do. So
Yeah, I think social media is a big trap for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most biggest in our generation, one of the biggest like temptations and also
Yeah.
like a comparison aspect too.
Lord.
Cause everything that's on there is so captivating to us, and if it's quick and short, we're gonna watch it. Cause our attention span is getting short. I mean, sadly, it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's definitely a big one too.
Yeah.
How's your perspective changed, like in relation to your relationship with God, or just being a Christian in general?
Honestly, okay, like before I used to just like pray and just hope the prayer would get answered. Like it just and like now I feel like when I'm praying, I'm having a whole conversation with the Lord and he's sitting right next to me. Like it's like and I always thank him for that. I'm like, God, thank you for sitting in the room with me. And like it just feels so like different. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, but I don't even know how to describe it.
It definitely makes sense. I think when you, one of my friends said this in a Bible study, and it's fire. I've been stealing it ever since. I think when you finally get out of like the visitation stage with God and you begin to dwell, everything changes.
Yes.
Your walk, your talk, your attitude, your mindset, how you see yourself. I think everything changes if you let
Yes.
God change it.
Yes. Yeah. That's something I actually like recently noticed is like everything about like when I used to say like I wanted to figure out who I am, I was looking like at the wrong things. Like I would when was like reaching out to me about my identity, he was not saying like like go out and figure out who you are, but figure out who you are like within me, like him.
Yeah.
And I was looking through like I was like, let me go figure out what I like. And I was like, I joined the choir. I was trying to do praise dance. And I was like, and then he just then he brought me back to like rest in him and like to just like trust whatever plan he has and just to live by that day. Not whatever happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow, just that day. So,
Yeah.
Sorry.
What? No, it's fire. Everything you're saying is fire. How do you see yourself now? Because back then you didn't really have a relationship with God. How do you see yourself now in God's eyes?
I love that question. I was actually just talking about this because the way I was talking about how I used to be, and I'm like, I've grown a lot, but I don't give myself enough grace because I like mess up every single day. But like the way I see myself now, I have to tell myself every day that the Lord sees me. He chose me. He loves me. And I'm actually at a point where I know that the Lord loves me. And I just break down every time because I'm like, he like really loves me. Like, why do you love me so much? Why are you blessing me this way? Like, I just don't. And I just like, I would thank him for so many things and just bust out crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, oh my God. I just see myself like when he's a part of like my story, like when I allow him to be, because it's really a choice. When I allow him to be, I
will.
know I'm a different person. I'm a very different person. If I wake up and I don't read, my whole day is horrible. Whole day horrible, done for. Like, don't even talk to me. But like when I wake up and read and remember who he is and that today is not even about me, like my whole day is like just really good. So
Yeah. I think that is so good. I think we're so undeserving of God's grace and mercy, and we still get it every day. I think it says in Lamentations 2, something like that, His mercies renew afresh every morning. Literally every morning you wake up, new mercy, new grace, new love. So it's just like, I don't know how God could love somebody like us, literally hanging on
Yeah.
the cross, watching us hurt Him, watching us disobey Him, watching us do everything that we're doing, and still say, it's okay, I'm going to still die. Like, what? I couldn't do it. Find somebody else. I'm not finna watch you hurt me and still die for you. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm on him and not God.
Yeah.
All of us would be screwed. Absolutely not.
Oh my goodness.
What fruit or growth do you see, even if it's not perfect?
Um, I would say probably my patience is like the main one I see that I've seen recently. Like I have a friend at work who reminds me a lot of myself when I was in high school. A lot. So I have to give this person like grace all the time. I'm like, I used to be the same way, Lord. Why am I so mad? And he's like, because you used to be the same way. So I'm like,
Wow.
so I'm like, okay, like how can I, like I just have to talk to him every day and just like give the whole day to him before I even go into work. Like it's not that bad. I love this person with my whole heart, but like it'd be hard sometimes. But like, yeah, I forgot the question.
What fruit?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What fruit? No, it's okay. What fruit or growth do you see? You answered it right.
Oh, but yeah, it's mostly like my patience, giving others grace. And something I'm also learning is to love others how God sees them and love others the way God loves you. Because you make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. So who am I to be mad at somebody for making a small mistake or making me upset? Like it's
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. And it says in the Bible that we're supposed to forgive like 7 times 7. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
I just want to say mad growth, T. Like mad growth, like for real. Like from when I first met you to now, you're a completely different person. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Like
brother.
don't cry. We don't got I got makeup on. We don't got time for the tears. But you're a completely different person. I was telling one of my friends that probably like last month, maybe like November, December. I was like, no, it was after that conversation at Culver's.
Oh.
I was like, she's not the same person I met before. We had that conversation, and then after we had that conversation, I really started. I'm not a creep, but I really started observing you, and I really just started like watching you, watching how you move, watching how you respond to people, because I still struggle with that. If you irritate me, you gonna know it, and I'm sorry.
You
The
will.
eye rolls, we working on it. I promise I'm working on it. I'm reading a book right now. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the growth that you've made is crazy, like leaps and bounds, Tiana. Like,
I
for real.
appreciate. I don't even. I was just talking to the lady that I'm staying with. I was just talking to her, and I was like, she was telling me about myself too, and I just don't know how to receive that compliment. Cause I'm just like, it's not. It's literally not me. It's all by the grace of God.
Yeah.
It's just not me. Like I'm happy that people see growth, and I'm like, and she's always like the foundation, your commitment. I'm like, what do you see? Because I don't see what y'all see.
Yeah,
Like it's
for sure.
hard. And like she said, she feels the same way. I think she's the most peaceful person ever. And I'm like, why do you think? And she was like, we're on the same walk, girl. Like we're all walking the same walk. Not literally, but like, we're all like making mistakes every day and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like it's hard for me to accept that compliment. So I just sit there like, thank you.
Yeah, I think you should accept it, but I also think it's great that you keep that heart posture because it keeps you humble.
Yeah,
And
I
then
want
you
to stay
don't-
humble.
Then you don't take the glory from God, because then if you do let them compliments and everything get to your head, you're gonna be all high and mighty, and then you're gonna be trying to recover, and you're gonna have to get back in the place of humbleness. And if you're not humble, God's gonna take everything from you.
Yeah. And I actually used to be that way. Like when people give me compliments, like I used to get the compliment, oh, you're so self-aware a lot. So I used to just, any compliment I got, I used to walk around trying to be exactly what they said.
Oh wow.
It was horrible. It was so horrible. Like they said, you're so self-aware. Then I got to a point like, I am self-aware, but I don't even do nothing about what I'm self-aware about. Like things I know about myself, like I know I had a bad attitude. Why are you not doing nothing about it? You're trying to act. I was so fake. Instead, you're trying to act like other people so they don't see the kind of person you actually are. But to the people that was closest to me, they knew exactly who I was. So like, it was weird. I was a weirdo.
But I think like with this season and where God has you, you've grown and learned a lot. What are probably like your top three things just up till now that you've learned in your relationship with God?
He has a lot of mercy. God has a lot of mercy. He's very forgiving. I've learned so much. I can't even think of everything, but I know I've learned a lot. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, something I've recently learned is that I unintentionally perform and it's on accident. Like, I don't mean to, like, but I was in a phase where I was like, I don't want to disappoint the Lord. And the more you think about not disappointing him, you might disappoint him. And I would put myself up to this standard he didn't even ask me to be at. Then it was crazy because my pastor was preaching about that. And she was just like saying, like, you put yourself in a position you didn't even ask the Lord to put you in. And now you're condemning yourself for something he didn't even tell you to do. So I'm like, oh, okay, excuse me. But like that, right now, he's kind of just teaching me that, I mean, the way I look at it is that we're all babies. And like when we fall, your parent is not going to disown you. Like as a baby, when they're teaching you how to walk, they're not going to disown you because you couldn't walk. They're going to pick you up and help you walk again. And that's exactly what the Lord is doing with us. Just because we fail, he's not going to say, you're not my child anymore. He's going to pick you up and continue to walk with you. So I think that's how I look at it. I'm like, okay, Lord, I fell. Get me back up. If you got to carry me, put me on your back or something like that. That's how I try to look at it.
That's a fire analogy. So if somebody like walked in that door right now and was like, "Oh my gosh, Teyanna, everything that you're going through, I'm going through the same thing," what would you say to them?
I have no idea. I don't know. Like I'm like trying to picture, and I'm like, I wouldn't know what to say. I honestly wouldn't. But I know, like, if it was like if we were already sitting down talking and they're telling me things that I can relate to, I would have something to say. But if they just came and said, "Oh my gosh, Tiana, I'm going through the same thing," I wouldn't know what to say. Like, but I mean, if we're having like a regular conversation, I would just kind of something I don't do. If they're going through something I never went through, I have nothing to say. I don't even want to try and because I know I never been through that. I don't know how to go through it. I just don't say nothing. But if I've been through it, I would probably say, I was in the same season and just like list off the things that I've done. Like I would pray. Sometimes I would seek wise counsel because sometimes my mind just do whatever it wants to do. My mind is really, right now, that's the thing that's been fighting me the most. So like I would seek wise counsel or even go to a friend that I can trust and like ask a question, a friend that's honest and ask a question. And then just, just go from there and like, and something actually I realized with a couple friends that have come to me about things, I don't say that I pray. Cause when I'm in those seasons, I don't even think to pray, honestly. I mean, I read, but I don't think to pray because I'm just like so in my head and sometimes I tell them you should pray. You should really pray. It's important because I know I didn't do it. But I tell them in that season I didn't pray because but then I think during that season I read, I believe it was in Proverbs, and it said that the Holy Spirit is like interceding through your groans or something like that. But like things that
Yeah,
you're not,
like on your behalf or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, like for things that you're not saying, it's getting to the Lord. He can see
Yeah.
it. So like, even though, but it's still important to pray. Like he still wants to hear from you, no matter how you feel, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that prayer part is like so key because when I first moved here and I was like so mad. I didn't even have a relationship with God like that. I was so mad. I wasn't depressed. I feel like people throw that word around. I was just sad. I wasn't depressed. I didn't pray. What? Wow, no. Well, I'm not gonna lie. What am I praying to you for? I don't even have a real relationship with you like that. And let's go into when I do, like as of right now. Probably like last year, the year before that. If I was in a tough season, I'm not praying because right now I don't have the heart posture to pray. I don't have the willingness to pray. I don't even have the desire to pray. The most I'm gonna do is probably read the verse of the day. Maybe read a verse that relates to what I'm going through, say it a couple times, and go on about my day. Because right now I'm in a season where I don't feel like I can go to you. I'm in a season where I feel like the last thing that I'm able to do is go to you because I feel like I'm unworthy. And I hate that as Christians we put ourselves in that box, but we do. But don't put yourself in that box if you have did that because the Lord is merciful. But in a season like that, that's the last thing you want to hear. You don't want to hear the prayer. You don't want to hear that God is merciful because in your situation, you don't feel like that. It's hard to hear stuff from somebody who's already been through what you've been through, but they're not going through what you're currently going through right now. So you can say a whole bunch to me, but you're not in my position and you don't truly know what I'm going through, but I'll take the advice. Maybe. I'm glad that you said that because I think people don't touch on that enough. You're lying. You did not pray. You probably prayed once you was towards the end and maybe in the beginning, but throughout that entire season, you was not praying. You was not on your knees. You wasn't. In the hallway, it is so hard to trust
I was
God.
just thinking about the hallway. Like I'm like, you got to pray in that hallway. Like I was just thinking about that. Yeah, yeah. I think it's important to pray in the hall. That's when the prayer needs to happen. When you feel
Yeah.
like you can't even stand up right now, like faith of a mustard seed. That's what I think
No,
about.
for
The little
real.
faith that you got will take you a long way.
Yeah.
Like I think that's so important. And I've learned that from past seasons. Like, okay, I got to pray in this part because last time I didn't, it tore me up. So now I got to pray. So yeah.
Yeah. And then just lastly, what are you still learning as of right now? What is God teaching you recently? And how's 2026 going so far?
2026 is going pretty good so far. Like I'm so satisfied with it right now. I'm not satisfied enough, but like I love where I'm at right now. I'm honestly still learning about I'm getting closer to him, but I'm honestly still learning about who he is, and I learn more and more like every day about who he is. Like when I read, I'm like, wow, you did that. So
Yeah.
I'm like, if he did it then, he'll do it now. And I'm also learning not to limit him to what he did already completed. That was like a part of one of my prayers, and like not limit to him to what like because I had like a really good season, and I'm like he did that before, and I don't know if he's gonna come through now just because I'm in a season of like I don't know what's going on next. So I try not to limit him to what he already completed, but expect the just expect a whole bunch. So like, cause he can give me whatever, but I just have to, I don't know. I'm losing my words.
Expect.
Yeah,
No,
expect.
no, that's good. I think that when I was fasting, I'm not gonna lie, the first week, like I didn't go into that 21-day fast with the mindset of, oh yeah, I'm like really expecting something from God, like he gonna do this. I wasn't. I was just fasting, praying. I was giving stuff up to God. Everything was coming to the surface. But at the end of that fast, I wasn't expecting nothing. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I wasn't. And then I was on one of the morning prayers that we had, and our pastor said, one of y'all, no, he didn't say one of y'all. I think just like in general, he was like, if you're not expecting anything at the end of this fast, you need to start expecting God. And I was like, oh, I feel okay. I got a little hurt right there because I wasn't. But after that, oh, it was up. It was up. After that, it was up. I like my prayers started changing. My face started changing. Like, yeah, just everything started changing because if I'm going to be expectant of like God to do something for me, my faith has to match that, and then my actions have to back it up, which is even harder because I can have a whole bunch of faith for something, but I can do the complete opposite. And even doing the complete opposite is not only like showing a lack of faith in God, but it's being disobedient. Because if I told you to do something and you having faith that I'm gonna do it, you out of lock in. So yeah, do you have like any last remarks? Okay,
Not really.
I'm not gonna lie. Fire pot, fire testimony.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you said something you've never said out loud before. That's a good.
I'm happy too. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think when you say stuff out loud and not just in your head or write it down, that's like another burden or another weight lifted off your shoulders. It's like you just got free all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming to the pod.
Thank you for inviting me.
You my first female guest. I love it.
Hello.
www. But that's it for this episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Go listen on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. That's all for this episode. Bye.
Bye.